Hello boys and girls, happy Tuesday. I hope you're all well and you're having fun out in the sun today. I had a lovely bank holiday weekend. I was out in my garden, I was cycling, I went for walks, and I hope you had a lovely weekend too. So today we're going to read another Mr. Men book. We are on number 25 and this one is called Mr. Impossible. And afterwards we'll sing a rhyme. Mr. Impossible, and this is what he looks like. Mr. Impossible. Mr. Impossible could do the most amazing things. For instance, Mr. Impossible could jump over a house. You try it. It's impossible. Wowzers. There he is, jumping over a house. And Mr. Impossible could make himself invisible. All he had to do was stand there and think about becoming invisible, and he became invisible. You try it. It's impossible. There he is. Can you see him? He's hiding. He's invisible. Maybe your grown-up can't see him. Ask your grown-up. It's a tricky one. And Mr. Impossible could fly. All he had to do was stand there and flap his arms about, and off he flew. You try it. It's impossible. And Mr. Impossible lived in an impossible-looking house. Have you ever seen a house in such an impossible place? Of course not. Look. What do you think happens in the winter time when all the leaves fall off the tree? The branches must be very strong to hold his house up. One day, Mr. Impossible was out walking in the woods when he met a boy called William. William was on his way to school. Hello, said Mr. Impossible. Hello, replied William. I'm William. I'm impossible, said Mr. Impossible. Really? Said William. Really, smiled Mr. Impossible. There's Mr. Impossible and William having a chat. Can you do impossible things? Asked William. Haven't come across anything I can't do, replied Mr. Impossible modestly. William thought. Can you climb up that tree? He asked, pointing to the biggest tree in the world. I can do better than that, replied Mr. Impossible. I can walk up that tree. And he did. Walking sideways up a tree. He's like a squirrel. I've seen a squirrel do that, but I've never seen a person. William thought again. Can you stand on one hand? He asked. I can do better than that, replied Mr. Impossible. I can stand on no hands. And he did. That's impossible, cried William. True, replied Mr. Impossible. Look, there he is in the air, floating. Wow, he really is impossible. Then William remembered that he was on his way to school. Why don't you come with me? He asked. But I've never been to school before, said Mr. Impossible. Then it's time you did, replied William. Come on with me. That's a very nice thing. William sounds like a lovely boy. William and Mr. Impossible sat at the back of William's classroom with all the other children. The teacher came in, but didn't notice that there was someone else in the class that morning. Can you see Mr. Impossible? Point him out. You're right, you spotted him, and the teacher can't see him. Good morning, children, said the teacher. I have a very difficult sum for you to do today. It will take you most of the morning to work out the answer. And he wrote the sum on the blackboard. Who do you think will be able to do this sum? Mr. Impossible. I think so too. I think you're right, and I think Mr. Impossible will solve it in a minute. It really was the most difficult sum William had ever seen in his whole life, full of multiplications and divisions and additions and other things that William did not enjoy. The teacher was right. It would indeed take most of the morning to work out the answer, if not most of the afternoon as well. Mr. Impossible whispered into William's ear. I think he's telling him how to do it. He's helping him. William put up his hand. Yes, William, said the teacher. Is there something about the sum you don't understand? Please, sir, said William, is the answer 23? The teacher was very, absolutely, totally and completely amazed. How did you work out the sum so quickly? He gasped. It's impossible. Nothing is impossible, said Mr. Impossible from the back of the class, and stood up. Well, I never did, said the teacher. Very good, he solved it. After that, Mr. Impossible spent all day at the school. He showed the teacher how he could read a book upside down. That's impossible, said the children who were watching. Absolutely, said Mr. Impossible. The book is the wrong way, but he's able to read it. It's like I am reading the book like this. I wouldn't be able to read it upside down. I need it the right way. Then William asked Mr. Impossible if he would like to play in the school football match. Oh, yes, please, replied Mr. Impossible. I've never played football before. And do you know what he did? He kicked the football so high into the air that when it came down, it had snow on it. What an impossible thing to do. Right up past the clouds. Goodness me. Then it was time to go home. Mr. Impossible said goodbye to all the people at the school and then said goodbye to William. Goodbye, Mr. Impossible, said William. Goodbye, William, said Mr. Impossible, and just disappeared. William rubbed his eyes and went home. I'd say he's tired after his busy day with Mr. Impossible. William's mother and father were waiting for him. Hello, William, they said. Did you have a good day at school? Yes, replied William. I met somebody who can do anything in the world. Really, William, they both laughed. You're impossible. William smiled and went inside. I don't think they believed that he met Mr. Impossible. Let's see. And 100 miles away, a small figure was listening to what William's mother and father were saying. And he grinned an impossible grin, and then he went to sleep, standing on his head. And we all know that's... Look at him sleeping. That's impossible! What a terrific story about Mr. Impossible. I wonder, can you remember some of the things that he did in our story today? Some of the impossible things. Try and think and remember what you're grown up. So today we are going to sing a song about water, and it's about brushing our teeth. So I will count to 3 and then we will start. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. This is the way we brush our teeth, brush our teeth, brush our teeth. This is the way we brush our teeth, we do it in the morning. Brushing up and brushing down, brushing left and brushing right. A nice bright smile will then be found, we've brushed really well. This is the way we brush our teeth, brush our teeth, brush our teeth. This is the way we brush our teeth, we do it in the evening. Brushing left and brushing right, brushing till our teeth are bright. Then we say yawn good night, we've brushed really well. This is the way we brush our teeth, brush our teeth, brush our teeth. This is the way we brush our teeth, we do it twice a day. Very good, boys and girls, that was great singing. I need to practice that one a bit more because I just learnt it. In school, if we were doing it, we would be doing it every day and then we'd know it off by heart. Maybe you'll be able to learn it off by heart and sing it to me when we're back in school. I'm looking forward to hearing from lots of you, boys and girls. I miss you so much, and I wish I could give you all a big hug. I'm a little bit sad I'm missing you so much, but I hope to hear from you. Love, your teacher.